My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding program this evening. We have a play with characters in Spiritual Warfare, the musical, and it's the Sow a Seed production, which is written, directed, and created by Regina Sullivan. Greetings, Regina. We're very happy that you took time to bring part of your crew with us this evening to let Lake County know about Spiritual Warfare, the musical. I attended the play at North Chicago Community High School a few weeks ago, and I was very impressed about the play. And I know we always go to Lincolnshire, we go to Chicago, and even Las Vegas to see plays. But we have talented people right here in Lake County. And you have found the people here to talk about the play. And you have a play coming up this fall, I guess, right?
Yes, October 14th.
October 14th, and hopefully we will, give you some assistance and get people to come out, because they are in for a real treat. So I want you, first of all, to tell our listening audience a little bit about, let's talk about Regina. Who is Regina? I understand you are a director, a writer, and also the creator, but how did you get started with this play creation?
Well, actually, the Lord gave it to me in a dream. It was a vision. Mm-hmm. It was as if I was watching a movie.
Okay.
It was crystal clear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And from that point on, he directed me and showed me how to write it, what to say, what mm-hmm. scriptures that
mm-hmm. would
correlate so that it would be fluid. And that's how we started. How I started with this.
It sounds like it, like the Holy Bible. God gave the vision to several prophets to write the Bible. Yes. So this sounds like it to you. And as long as you're led by what God, the way God leads you, you can't go wrong. It has to be successful.
Amen.
Yeah. Tell us about the people we have on the program this evening. And then we'll let them talk about the play, and we'll see how well you have trained them. On my left is who?
On your left is Deborah Norman.
Okay.
She plays the part of Bertha.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, she's going to tell us all about Bertha after you introduce the others. Okay. On to her left is.
Next to her is Lauren May.
Mm-hmm.
She plays the part of the mother.
Okay.
And then next to Lauren is Ephraim Thomas, and he plays the part of the demon.
The demon.
The imp. Satan's minion.
And our anchor man.
And our anchor man holding up the end here is Lynn Epps, and he plays the part of Tank.
Okay, now after the audience see the play, what do you expect for them to get from the play?
Well, we're hoping to spread God's message. It's called Spiritual Warfare because there's a spiritual war going on within our members and each and every one of us. Mm-hmm. And it's that tug of war that we have within ourselves to do good or to do bad. And every day we have to make that decision. Am I going to do the right thing or am I going to do the wrong thing? And during that time of decision making is when Satan tempts us to do wrong, and we fight to try to do the right thing. But sometimes we don't always win, and we're tempted. And that's how spiritual warfare comes about.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I'm going to talk to Deborah. Deborah, and I want you to tell us about what piqued your interest in spiritual warfare, the musical.
Well, I had been doing plays through my church with Miss Sullivan for a while, and so when she brought up this production, I was all excited on being part of it, and just trying to, explore a character and bring that character to life.
And your part, Bertha. Now, who's Bertha?
Bertha is like this busybody in church. She got her eye on a deacon, and she's just kind of this flirty type of girl, and bringing some excitement, into her life, and not being sure where she is spiritually as well, in terms of what she should and should not be doing, and maybe tempting someone else or turning them away from what they should or should not be doing, causing them to have this war within themselves as well.
Okay, well, we're gonna learn more about Bertha, but Lauren May, tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all, how did you get involved with the play?
Well, Dr. Brooks, I got involved with the play from doing different plays at Gideon, and became a part of Regina's team. In fact, we've been a part of several plays that were for Easter, for Resurrection, and Regina is the type of person, if she asks you to do something, she will not accept no for an answer.
Okay.
So here I am today performing in my 4th play as Regina as the director.
Now, the mother now.
The mother. Well, my daughter attended church often, and
Okay.
she was, very busy in the church. Of course, my son, Tank, didn't have anything to do with church. He kind of strayed away.
Okay.
So we are trying to pull him back in to try to get him to seek God.
Well, let's talk to Ephraim. Ephraim, what piqued your interest in getting involved with plays, with this play particularly?
Oh, this play? Well, I've been doing plays for years, like from school to church. My church is different churches from them. And like, oh, you'd be good for this play, somebody told me. I'm like, all right, I don't have no problem doing that.
Okay.
And so next day, hey, you got a part. So now I enjoy this play because I can have fun, and it's a really good play that has a great message behind it.
The role of Imp. Now, tell us about Imp.
The Imp is a local character. Well, my job pretty much is to cause, temptation, getting people ahead, and just lead them away from what they're truly meant to be, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you select the the person that you planned? What Imp? Is that?
What that was, I was told that she wanted me as a pastor or a deacon before, but it seemed like I was more called for the Imp afterwards, so kind of.
You enjoyed playing the demon more than the minister, right?
Yeah.
Probably too much.
Lynn Epps, you are our anchor person. You have been doing plays for years, but back in high school, I guess, right?
Junior high.
Junior high. What piqued your interest in getting involved with participating in plays?
With this play right here.
Well, yeah, but fun.
What got me involved in theater, when you first started out in middle school,
Okay.
the teachers always line you up and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay.
And everything I wanted to be, somebody had already said. So I didn't want to be with somebody that already said. And I remember my mother was watching the picture with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. And
Yeah.
I said, actor. And ever since then, I've been acting.
Fantastic. Now, how about this play, Spiritual Warfare? How'd you get involved with that?
I had a friend that was in the show, and she said they needed characters for this part. And I've been straying away from religious plays because just for certain reasons, because it always seemed to be the same play, the same story. But this one was told so unique, and the character I play is so unique that it dropped me in. And I told her I'm with her. Yeah, I'm part of the team now.
Well, let's go back to Deborah. Deborah, what is God's message?
Well, in my mind from the play, the message is you constantly battle between what's right and wrong in your mind. And sometimes, even when you know what's right to do, you get so tempted to do wrong because you see what other people, what you think they're gaining from doing different things. And sometimes you as a person, you gravitate towards that. But then in the back of your mind, you know it's not right. And you have this little conscience that's sitting on your shoulder telling you, you know that's not right. You know you need to do this. And sometimes that eternal struggle within your mind leads you to do things that typically maybe you wouldn't do. But then as a Christian and you go back to your Bible and you listen to the gospel and the word, you try to overcome those things. But we as people, we are of the flesh. And so we do succumb to some things that we typically wouldn't do in our life, but we are not God. We want to be God-like and we want to get to that kingdom, but we fall sometimes. But in this play, it's like you may fall, but you always have the opportunity to get back up and continue to walk the walk. But you have to believe and you have to do the work to get there.
Lauren May, you playing the part of a mother, but there are women in the Bible that you kind of pattern yourself after, or did you, in the play, you just live the real life mother?
In the play, I lived a real life mother just trying to keep my son on the straight and narrow.
Okay.
And in the play, the actual role itself, when I was first approached and auditioned, I was kind of skeptical about it. Then when I tried to go to sleep that night and I thought about it, I said, you know what? Whenever you're trying to do the work of the Lord and trying to put the word out there, spiritual warfare is something that we battle every day. Spiritual battles, worldly battles, and battles within ourselves. And my role was to try to draw him back in with us because he was, in fact, out there trying to do everything else with everyone else. And when he got word that, oh, your mom is sick, let me go see about mom. And life is short. And if you don't accept Christ early, you don't want to wait until it's too late.
Why should people in the community want to come to see spiritual warfare?
To be uplifted.
Okay. That says in a nutshell, but what particular way should they be uplifted? We know that the main purpose of life is about Jesus Christ is the death, burial, and a resurrection. But I know through spiritual warfare, you're trying to get that information to people. But how specifically can you get it to them?
If you have faith in God, the size of a mustard seed.
Okay, and that's pretty small too.
That's
mustard seed.
Mustard seed is extremely small. Faith, the three things that really I think about in spiritual warfare is faith in God, hope for tomorrow, and your purpose in life. Okay, so if you come to see the play, you will get something out of it that you'll be able to take with you and think about for the rest of your life.
Now Ephraim, you're playing a part of the demon, that's imp, but how can you get people serious about it? I know it's kind of an entertainment, but how can you get their attention to take it serious about the demon's part?
If you go to play, you realize how hard the demon actually works to bring you down. And people don't understand how like in spiritual warfare, it's not like, oh, the devil's just gonna be like, hey, slap on the wrist, you good. He plans for each person individually. Like, he's a great teacher. He'd be like, okay, Dr. Brooks, you need to do this, or you need to work on the hardest. That's my job, is to go for where you need the most protection at, the weak spots. You would say in your spiritual life, your faith, and everything that's what I'm aiming at.
Now, is having a musical, is this one way of getting the people's attention? I mean, in other words, why a musical?
Well,
to show spiritual warfare.
for me, I'm not singing because that's not my spiritual gift. But the concept is, with the musical part, is that sometimes words just cannot take it. You just need, like David, you need to have that joyful noise, the song, that help to reach people at that right point. And music is a part of the Bible. It was like really written to be part of music throughout the first 5 Testaments. That's how you learn it. The Quran part is known as a musical part, so that's how you learn it. So musical help bring you into the presence of the Lord when you need it the most.
People were asking about what is it about the character of the demon that drew you to it?
It was the fact that I have the most leeway with my character, which I can ad-lib, I could be as much of a nuisance as I want with less restriction. Like, well, a mother, you have to be like a mother at all times. Me, I could be mean, I could be funny, I could mess with props and stuff and just be like in the background antagonizing people, which I think was kind of fun.
So you can relate to your character itself.
Yeah.
Well, what about Lynn? You've been acting for a long time, and you played a part of a Tank. Now, why Tank?
Well, Tank, he's a lost soul. He doesn't care about nothing but his mother and his sister. Nothing else relates to this guy. And his mother keeps trying to get through to him, but Tank is going to be Tank.
Okay.
And you know, nothing changes him. You could almost look at him and you can almost tell what he's going to do. But the fun part I have with this character when we're doing the show, every night I can flip him a little bit. Like when I'm doing one scene, most of the time I don't know what Tank's going to do. Tank's that kind of a character.
Okay.
You just got to come to the show to see it. They can tell you when we're doing those scenes with Tank, I'm serious, Tank takes over. Lynn is not on stage, it's Tank. You know, it's like one scene where she wanted me to throw a chair, and we was doing the play, and I got the chair, and Tank decided not to throw it. He decided to slam it, you know? It doesn't affect the other actors because they know Tank is Tank, you know? But the only thing that really affects Tank is his mother and his sister. If you don't mess with them, you don't mess with Tank. Tank's all right. But when you mess with his family, that's when you get to see who Tank is.
Now, did you select that part, or does your life evolve around Tank?
No, Tank is patterned after a family member.
Okay, I got you. Okay. You know, I again too, I like to ask you the same question that why you think people should come to see spiritual warfare?
Okay, now me, I'm the non-religious person in the group. I believe in God and I know about God, but these people are God, and God has this play. And in this play, you will see scenes from everyday life with the devil and with God, and you will see how these people react to these things. That's what draws me to the play, because it's a life-changing play. It really is.
This is unique. Now, in 3 words, how would you describe spiritual warfare of the musical?
A life-changing play.
Okay. How about it, Deborah? How would you, in 3 words? Kind of similar?
Faith-based, eye-opening, maybe more than 3 words. Faith-based, eye-opening, and a purpose. And it's real. You know, it's real life things that happen to people, things that people really go through in life. The struggles are real. And Ms. Sullivan has provided a play that looks at different scenes of life. You know,
Okay.
different things that people go through and different things that individuals go through in life, whether you're older or even if you're younger, if you're a child. You know, we have a child going through what is it to lose a parent, you know, and a grandmother talking to a child on how to lose a parent, to what if I'm out hanging with my boys and something go wrong. And I mean, we see this every day in the streets now, you know, so it's a play that you really can relate to on so many different levels.
Just about the play, it's time consuming.
Very.
How long do you have to practice to perfect it? Normally you try to keep them, but what I guess what the seat would allow, I guess, is about an hour and a half or 2 hours, they usually.
You know, our first night was kind of rough because we were just getting into the movement of things, and so it was a little bit longer. But then when we got to our second night, it just moved along so smoothly that it was good. Of course, you can always practice something. You can practice it until the point of no return. I think even with this encore, you know, you still have to practice to perfect your craft. You know, you want to bring that character out. You want that character to be the best at that. You want to do the best you can with that character and making it your own. And the only way you really can do that is by practicing. So once you get that down and, you know, going back and forth with some of the words, I think that's like kind of with the imp, you know, then we started to see the imp come out and doing different things. And it was like, okay, in life, this is really what happens. You know, you have so many distractions in life. So it's like we had this distraction going on here with the imp, but you still had to do your role. So you have to practice that so you wouldn't fall into getting so caught up with the imp that you couldn't remember what you needed to do. So it was actually really fun with the imp being behind you, talking to you, and trying to get you distracted. You know, because that's what life is about. Life is full of distractions.
Oh yes, oh yes. You have so many challenging experiences in the imp. What's some of the challenging experiences that you've had with the part you play?
For me,
I know you've had many, but
coming up with new stuff for them to break their character for me, because as the play ended, I realized I could say a lot more at certain scenes that will really have people thinking more and more, not just the people in the audience, but the cast members too. Like, so it was always coming up with like, how can I focus in on this one person and where do they need it most? Like, where would it have them affect them the most with each character, instead of just like, okay, I think this would be funny, and be like, no. For, let's say if I was with Tank, how can I come at Tank more than just saying, oh, boo-hoo, you just not where you want to be at. You have to really like, no, oh, your family, oh, what happened to them? You know, more personal with him as I was personal with everybody else. That's what more challenge.
I was thinking about the total hours that you use to perfect a play. About how many hours a week do you think you?
We met.
4 hours a week.
Yeah.
About 4 hours a week, 4 hours weekly.
Oh, it's not too bad then. 4 hours a week.
Yeah, it was
But
it.
for 4 hours a week times 3 months.
Okay. Okay.
So
And
a lot
plus-
of practice.
And plus, you practice at home as well. You know, you may not be with whoever you're working with the character, but you still needed to, you know, get into your lines. So sometimes I would be if I was at work, you know, I may be running through my lines at work in my head. So I'm like, okay, so when I come, I'm ready to go, and I can do these lines the way I need to do them.
Well, as a writer, then it takes a lot of writing, long
Yes.
time. Because do you ad lib or do you stick right to the script?
I think sometimes you ad lib a
can
little
ad-lib.
bit, but we try to stick to the script, you know, because you'll get the director saying, "Hey, that's not in there," you know. You're like,
Right.
okay, you know. But I mean, she's really good too, as well as if you know, you saying, "Hey, this needs to work this way. This is where I'm comfortable with." She's really good with allowing you to do that as well. You don't want to ad lib too much where you start changing the character.
Right.
Okay, right.
I did a lot. I did a lot of ad-libbing in my part.
So you are allowed to ad lib, but
Yeah.
As long as I terrorize people,
now the training that you received then from the director then, how much training does she, how much leeway does she give you, to perfect your part?
my part, she gave me a lot of leeway.
Yes, I
Start-
believe Emperor was.
A lot more
yes.
leeway than we were given.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think you needed that with that role because it needed to constantly change, So as an actor, you wouldn't get comfortable with him saying certain things to you, and then you didn't react naturally to it. So when he changed up some stuff, your reaction was natural. It didn't look like it was something that was staged or how you were supposed to act. It was like, really? Did you just say that? So.
Now, was this your first play that we saw at the high school? Was that the first play?
No, this was not my first play. I believe I've been in maybe three plays, all
Wow.
written by Ms. Sullivan.
Wow, this is fantastic. Lynn, I know you've had some challenging experiences too as an actor, by the length of time that you've been acting. Tell some of the challenging experiences that you had. If a person wants to get into acting, tell them some of the challenging experiences they're gonna run up.
Well, basically, you got to be dedicated. That's with anything in life. You have to have the dedication. You have to have the drive and the moral spirit to keep going through it.
Okay.
But, like, getting back to this play is unlike any play I've ever done before. There's so much love in the rehearsals. Most times you're doing professional shows, people come in, they do their scene, then they're gone. We have people that actually stay around for those 2.5, 3 hours. They help out, and the experienced actors work with the younger actors, and they work with the stage and the props. I've never been in a production like that before. Most people, they're not conceited. They know it. They get cast in a part, they do the part, and they go home. But this play is powered by God. I'm serious. It'll change you. And the scenes, you'll see scenes from everyday life, like mother and daughter, or like father and son, or husband and wife, or fiance and fiancé. It's everything in this play. It's got a little bit of everything, and a whole lot of love.
Well, how is the play marketed? Who do you looking to attract? Do you get mostly young people come to the play, or middle-aged people, or older people?
I think it's middle-aged and older people, I believe.
Middle-aged that you
Yeah,
get.
but it's geared towards everybody, though.
Okay.
Anybody come to this play, you will take something away from it.
Okay. Now, do you contact the pastors? I know they have a ministers alliance over all the pastors in the area. Is one of your target group ministers? Or you just contact everyone, really?
I'm contacting
because
everybody.
I've seen your flyers all over Lake County. So you're trying to attract all people to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not limited to any ethnic group.
Not at all.
Because actually we believe in the same Bible, right?
That's right.
The same
Should
death,
believe
burial,
in
and
the same-
resurrection.
That's right.
We all come from the same dust,
Absolutely.
right?
That's right.
So knowing the word. By the way, what is God's will? In other words, if we going out and you're taking God's will out through music, and what is God's will? Anyone could. So we said the purpose actually of God is death, burial, and resurrection, but His will is to spread His word, right?
Spread His word, and that we all.
And do you appeal to certain denominations or to just everyone?
I think it appeals to everyone.
There shouldn't be any one denomination, right?
No.
Nope.
No.
When you speak to spiritual warfare,
Right.
it doesn't attack just one
No.
group.
Everybody is open. Everybody is open for it. So this play is a play that everybody can come to and really enjoy it. It doesn't matter what race you are, what your beliefs are, because when you come to the play, you get to see exactly what it is, and you get to make the choice yourself.
Okay.
We're not trying to force religion onto anybody. We just say, hey, look at this. This is what it is. Form your opinion. This is what we go through as daily people. as Christians. This is what we live. And it, you know, some people said they came to the play and they got it, they understood, and they wanted to become a Christian. They wanted to join a church. They were getting excited about what we were doing. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we're doing here. We want people to be excited about coming to God and just learning about God, you know, because so many people are walking away from the church right now, and we need to get people back into the church. You know, so this is a great play to do this because you can get to come in, you can see so many different ways, so many different things that people go through. And I want to go back to something that Lynn has said about just the unity among the cast. It was so great. If you were struggling with some of the words or some of the roles, hey, they just took you to the side and you could just practice it constantly while other people were practicing on stage. You can go off to the side and practice. And it was a great cast to work with. You know, you could feel the spiritual movement within the cast. You know, you were receiving the blessing within the cast.
That's very important too, though. That's very
Yes.
important that you're working as a team, as helping each other.
It was one common goal, you know, and the goal was to get the word out.
Now, you speak about the word now. The production is called Sow a Seed Production. Do you want to elaborate on that? Sow a Seed Production. What does she have in mind when she said sow a seed? And I guess maybe she should be here to answer that. But
To plant a seed and basically you grow as a Christian,
Okay.
you know,
Exactly.
to give you some of the foundation that you need to be able to grow up within and make your opinions and become part of the church, you know, become part of this movement, because it really is a movement, you know, so you can feel like this is a place that I can grow and I can learn about God, and I can deal with some of these struggles and these battles that are going on in my head on should I do right, should I do wrong, this looks so good to me, so tempting, but you know what, I can't be blessed doing this, because when you do things that are not of the Bible, eventually that stuff do come back on you in some type of way. So yeah, maybe at this point in time, you know, you're reaping all this good stuff, but are you really gonna sow it later? And you're not. In the end, you're not.
and another way sowing a seed is that maybe from this musical, and you enlighten people that they want to go back to their Bible
Yes.
and read about
Yes.
what you are projecting to them. And I know I do a great deal, well, even from sermons in the church, though, you know, the pastor gives the scripture and so forth, to go back home and, you know, and enlarge upon it. So musical is not just, you're not there to entertain, right?
No, you're in there to grow.
Grow.
Okay.
To get the
Exactly.
message, you know.
Okay.
I'm in the first half of the play, and basically in the first half of the play, it's not really that many songs. It's more of, I think, setting the foundation for the ending of the play. So, you know, but at the ending of the play, there's more songs than what it is in the beginning of the play.
Okay. Yeah, so actually, if they come for entertainment, they probably get some, but to get them there, to get the message is what you really want. Right?
Yes. That's
The message is there, but it's also an entertaining play too. It's
is.
very entertaining.
Even in the beginning, even though it's not that much singing within the beginning of the play, it's still a lot of action in the beginning of the
Right.
play to make you think, to get you moving on, like, okay, what's next? Where do they go from here with this play? You know, how is this going to end? Is this person going to make these decisions? You know, are they going to come to God? Are they going to walk away? What's going to happen to this individual? You know, so you have that little cliffhanger to keep you going
Right.
within the play. You know, and then some of the roles you look at it and you have to say to yourself, yeah, that's me. You know,
Right,
you
exactly.
can't walk away from that. You're like, oh man, yeah, that's me. And it's like a reality check
Okay.
of, oh my God, this is me. I do act like that. Oh, maybe I need to change, you know. So the play is an eye-opening experience as well.
Yes.
So it's not only the actors can relate to it and want to be that way, but that's what you want your audience to be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We want them
So I want them
to
to-
think about. I had someone ask me a couple days after the play about the play itself, and
Okay.
what their involvement was in church, and she says, how much involved are you at your church? And we're very involved. Pretty much all of us are involved in church.
Okay.
And spiritual warfare, just to give a background on it, if you want to study more about spiritual background, John 17, or spiritual warfare, John 17, chapter 17, tells you all about the different battles that you'll fight during life. And the question that she asked me, she said, is your faith that strong? And I said, yes, it is. And she says, well, I need to check on where is my faith and how strong is my faith. So that alone tells me that she was interested in the play. She really got something out of the play for her to ask, how deep are you into the word? How deep are you involved in church? And I told her, sometimes it's not about the church, it's about the church in you. You know, because you have to know a little bit about the word to keep you interested in going to church, to get a message, to get your meat for the week.
And you might enlighten upon the church. The church is not, people may think it's a building. The church is not a building. What is a church? You might keep going.
Right. You are the church. You are the church. Okay? The church should be planted in you. The church is a building. That's it. And the
It's
more you
building where
study,
you assemble.
worship, right? A building where you go to worship. The church in you will come from you learning. Okay, you start off with membership, then you move on to fellowship, and then you move on to stewardship, and then you move on to discipleship. So it's a combination of all the different ships, and you start off with milk, then you grow and you grow and you grow, and if you have a good leader, like we have a good leader, he teaches us to be prepared for different things that we'll have to face in life.
What I also learned about Christian warfare is that you're not-for-profit, Christ-centered organization.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And so, but I don't know how much you know about the history of the organization. I was talking with your director for several, ever since I saw the play at the high school, and she was telling me about it's Christ-centered, and all the people all the actors and the people associated with the play are Christ-centered people, right?
Yeah, majority of us come from a church within Lake County.
Oh, that's a good point. It's not from one church.
No, it's not. It's,
No.
it's a lot of different churches that is involved in this play.
And I know the musicians are. I know my daughter stated interest.
Yes.
And she's from a different church. She loves music. I don't know how she heard about the play, but she loves music, and she will be with you, I guess in the future there too.
And that's the good thing about this play. I don't have a church.
Okay.
And they welcome me just like I go to church with them every Sunday. And like you said, they really
get
mean it.
Get them there.
They're gonna get you.
He's excited. See, he's excited.
Right.
I'm not going to fight it because I know that they mean what they say. When they talk to me, they're very open and honest, and I like that.
Right. Well, tell us about Regina Sullivan, the writer, director, creator, and the whole works. Also say all of the above. Tell us about her. Why do you follow her? Is she planted here by God and a God, a spiritual led person?
I believe so. Regina,
Yeah.
she's a good-hearted person. She means good, but we have to word this very carefully. Because one day I was talking to her and I mentioned the word difficult, and now we don't talk as much as we used to. But no, Regina, you can't find a person with a bigger heart and more love than Regina.
Okay.
We all love Regina, even though we bump heads. That's what you do, But we get over it and we keep right on moving.
I guess Tank.
This week,
I'm sorry, I got to get Imp.
Yeah.
Tell us about your love for Regina. I know it's love. It's nothing but love.
Well, I do love Regina. I was introduced her by a mutual friend,
Okay.
and she like, oh yeah, you know Regina, she gonna have you do a play. I'm like, okay, for you, I'll do it because you like a mother to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, I like, oh, she like part of the family. Like, since she like a mother, you like a aunt, which you know I love all my family. So for her, as a leader, I respect her and follow her vision. I can see it, I can go with it, which I really love.
Well, I know the mother wanna talk about Regina. Now she finding out how you feel about her now. You know?
Do we have enough time to tell you how we really feel about Regina? When I first met Regina at church, and I work on a new members ministry at the church, and I felt a vibe with her from that day.
Oh,
I had no idea, none, that she was writing plays, and some
Okay.
of them, they were already written. And the relationship that we have today is inseparable. I respect her. She calls, she texts, she emails, and Regina is a very, very dedicated person.
Yeah.
And she looks for people to be a part in her play that are dedicated as well.
okay, very good. And I know the board just anxious to talk about Regina.
Well, I met Regina through my mother, actually. Her and my mother are really good friends.
Okay.
And from there, you know, we call her Auntie Regina. And, you know, I've always been interested in acting to a point, but, you know, just for the fun of it. And so, actually, I think the first play I did with Miss Regina, I played a lady who was finding out that she was dying from cancer. And it was from there I was just like, you know what, I really enjoy this, and she makes you feel very welcome in her productions, and you know they're spiritually led. You know the intentions are good. You know, she's not there trying to set you back in any kind of way. And I mean, even in our church, you know, we were doing some things together within the church, and I believe what she do, and I believe in her plays. You know, and when you find somebody that you know that's genuine with what they do, that's a person you hold on to.
Okay, right.
You know, when you know this is a person that will be in your corner, when you up against the wall, that's a person you hold on to. So when you are having those spiritual warfares, you have somebody you can turn to and say, look, you know, this is what's going on. You know, you can get some advice from them, you know. And Regina always have just a listening ear. She really does. And you know that her plays are spiritually led. And she stick to that Bible. She stick to it.
And she picks up the phone when you call her.
Yeah.
And I mean, anytime you call her. I had called her late at night. I didn't know, but she never said a bad that. You know, I said, I'm like 11:30, 12 o'clock kind of person. She said,
She
okay.
is too.
That's right, she is too.
She is too. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, she's truly a friend.
Genuine.
You know, and I believe everything that she believes is sent to her from God.
Now, in order to, for an organization to be successful, funding has to be in the plan. And I noticed she also has a spiritual warfare sponsoring plan too, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you guys participate in the sponsorship, but she has, if I could just mention a few, the VIP sponsor, she makes you feel important.
Yes.
Well, we all are important, right?
Absolutely.
Executive sponsor, platinum sponsor, gold sponsor, silver, bronze, and also just general admission, to give everybody opportunity to contribute at one of the levels. Because in order to have playing, you have to have funding has to take place, right?
Absolutely.
You have to get the location. You got to get people to participate. But I know you guys are volunteers, right?
Yes, we
Absolutely.
are.
You know,
Yes.
but it has to be, funding has to take place.
I've been in a lot of shows, and when it's time to pass out the tickets, you know, actors, they'll take those tickets.
Okay.
And that's exactly what they do.
Exactly.
They take those tickets. Then when the show is over with, here's the
Okay.
tickets. For the first time, I'm actively trying to sell tickets. That's how much this play means to me.
Okay.
Means a lot.
A lot of the funding comes from from Miss Regina and from what the cast do to try to get out and get the tickets sold. So this time, we're really trying to push some of these packages to help also offset some of the cost of the play, because it can be pretty costly to get a production going. And you want it to be the best that it can be. So she's always looking for sponsorship, and if you're interested, sow a seed production.
Yeah, I mentioned about marketing your product, but in order to get people there, it has to be marketed. And if you love what you're doing, then you will become part of the marketing, like you say.
Correct.
To get people there. People say, yeah, I'll come, but they have a ticket in their hand, they're more likely to come, Even if it's only a $15 ticket, which is the minimum there. And I noticed when I was at the high school, there was a pretty good crowd too, And I just wondered, how did you market your product? And we have and I was hoping to post it on the screen there, a flyer about the play. And the next play is coming up when now?
October 14th at 3 p.m.
And I have a flyer right here.
Oh, okay.
Traveling flyer.
Right.
Okay, well, there we
So
go.
October 14th, 3 p.m.
You just happen to have one.
Right.
That's right.
Actually, we have advertisement out. We're in the What's Happening.
Okay.
The advertisement is in there, the actual brochure.
Okay.
We will be at Afrofest.
Oh, that's
And
this
right
Saturday.
now, there is a special. We're from August 15th up until September 4th. We will have tickets for $10 for adults
okay.
and $5 for youth.
Okay.
Children 5 and under are free.
Oh,
After Labor Day, the tickets will go to regular price, $15 per ticket. And then for youth, it'll be $10. So we have this 3-week special.
okay.
And we're trying to get as many tickets out there in circulation. Our goal is to get at least 90% of the tickets sold during our
Right.
special.
Okay. Well,
And Dr. Brooks,
you can count on
I will
me.
give you ticket tonight. I will present you with 2 tickets for yourself and your wife for having us on here. And I thank you very much for taking the time out to have us on your show.
Well, you can add about 10 more to. I'll donate.
Okay.
I'll donate 10 adults.
Okay.
10 adult
Thank you
tickets
so much.
and probably this is my first active, being active with these spiritual warfare musical. And I used to be a good ticket seller with the NAACP and so forth. So this is for God and getting his word out. And we'll see what we can do with those 10, and I'll probably get more.
Okay. Thank
We
you so much.
appreciate it for sure.
Just a little bit more now. It's going to be at the high school also?
No,
Uh-oh.
the location has changed.
Okay. Where's it going to?
Going to be.
Just a little bit about that.
It's going to change over to the location now. It's going to be in Zion, and it's going to be at. I'm sorry. Can you read off the shirt, please?
Lynn, tell us.
It's going to be at Christian
here we
Arts
go.
Auditorium, 2599 Dowie Street in Zion.
Oh, yes, I think I know where it's located there, yeah, right.
And it's going to be at 3 p.m.
Okay.
And it's going to be one show only. It's going to be our encore performance, so we want to get out there and pack the house, and we coming to show out for God. That's what we coming to do. We coming to show out for God.
And oh, yeah, the length of the play, I think I mentioned that once before. How long is the play?
2 hours.
It's 2
Okay.
hours.
2 hours.
And that's about as much as the seat can endure, right?
Yeah, it's an intermission in there too. So within
Okay.
that 2 hour period, it's an intermission, so we can do some set changes and stuff like that.
One thing we did forget to mention about Miss Regina, our director, producer, and everything involving the play.
Okay.
Before every single rehearsal, we pray. After every single rehearsal ends, we pray.
I apologize. I mentioned prayer before this program, right? But I didn't follow through with it because prayer changes things.
Yes, it does.
And you putting God ahead, you have to be successful.
Have to.
thank you for bringing that out. In any organization, though, prayer is the answer. You know, it's great. All right. Well, tell us about. I mentioned, you might want to enlarge on that too. Is that when people leave there, what do you? And each one of you may want to address that too. Leave there with. What do you want them to leave the play going back out in the community with?
I think just to take it and share the word, share what
Okay.
you've learned,
Yeah.
share what you felt, you know, in there. If there was, like, with some of my family members that came, you know, they was like, oh, I really like this part of the play, and you know, one of my family members, the part with the mother, she said it was so touching to her that, you know, it made her want to reach out to her mom, you know, and just
okay.
say, you know, hey mom, just check in, how you doing, type of thing. So, you know, take the word with you as you leave, you know, in some kind of way, some to say, you know what, I've been thinking about this. This play has made me think about something.
You know, the world is in such a turmoil now, and each entity want to blame the other.
Right.
The school want to blame the family, and the family want to blame another entity, and we have the president, you know.
Blame everybody.
So we want to but actually, if each person will read the Bible and become a student of the Bible, God leads the way.
Indeed.
And how do we get rid of the devil in our lives? The scripture addresses that.
Yeah.
You may want to get some help with one of my other actors.
Best way to get rid of the devil is don't let him fulfill your life and wherever he has to offer. It says in the Bible, where's a man who gets the world but lose his soul? And you letting the devil fulfill you with false gold, fool's gold, is what I believe my character do a lot. And to get rid of him, you have to let Jesus really get into your life and fulfill you the way that only he can.
Mother Lauren May mentioned about some many things that we go from the show we'll take back. You know, being the mother. But did you mention babe in Christ? Is that
was Deborah.
Deborah? You mentioned. Okay,
She was
I
the
can't
babe.
remember.
She was the babe in Christ. My thing that I would like for people to take out of the play is, what is your purpose in life?
Okay.
You know, what is your purpose? You know, God gave us all a choice. Either you accept or you reject. Right now, the way the world is in turmoil, we all need to accept. Because there's too much rejection out there, and we need to stop giving the devil so much credit.
Yeah, we pray he will flee, because he doesn't believe in prayer. Yet
Absolutely.
he will flee. You know, that's I can't quote the right verse and chapter there, but the devil. And the more we get prayer changes things, and invite him to pray. So let's pray about it.
Right.
I don't think he wants that. He don't want to hear about prayer. You know. So, Bertha, again, your role is Bertha.
Yep, I play a role as Bertha, and I played the role as Babe in Christ, which opens the play.
It opens the play.
Yes.
But Bertha herself is.
Is a busybody in the church.
Okay.
Her job is to
Okay.
rattle some people and be very distractive to
Okay.
others. You know, is she in church for the right thing? You know, what is she doing in church?
Okay.
You know, and Bertha is busy in the church.
So you have to come see Bertha.
You got to come see Bertha.
Come see Bertha.
Okay, we have just a few minutes left. As a matter of fact, just a couple minutes left, and I want just to emphasize again. First of all, the play is going to be where now? Let's emphasize that again. It's going to be in Zion
Yes.
at the. You make it read that better than I can.
At the Christian Art Auditorium at 2599 Dow Street in Zion, Illinois.
Okay.
And the play is going to start at 3 p.m.
So
Central.
what people should leave church and go to Burger King or McDonald's, whatever, and then come right there.
No,
It's
on
a Saturday. It's
Oh, it's
Saturday.
also on a
October 14th
Saturday.
is a
Okay.
Saturday
All right.
at 3 p.m.
Okay, fantastic.
So come on out. Tickets right now, $10 for adults, $5 for children, 5 and up.
Okay, so at the door it'll
The prices go up basically $5.
be 15.
So it'll be
at the
10
door.
for youth, 15 for adults, but children still 5 and under are free.
And we have to emphasize, and lean on the mother again, the importance of spiritual warfare. And I think you
to
mentioned
be
that.
able
but
to
just
fight these battles off, of these worldly battles, we have to be able to fight them off. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is through the Word of God.
Right. Well, we really like to especially thank Regina Sullivan, director, writer, and creator. Give her, Regina, we really appreciate you allowing 4 of your actors to come on Community Forum. My ratings will definitely go up higher now. And also, the information about your play will be your play. Spiritual Warfare, the musical, will be known all over the world now because we're going on to get, what do you get in the media?
Social media.
Social media, that covers the whole works there. And it will be there in a couple of days, going to, I think a couple of days. This is Thursday and Sunday it'll be there to let the world know about Spiritual Warfare, the musical. So Deborah Norman, I know I get that. Deborah Norman plays a baby in Christ, Bertha. And then we have Lauren May, the second to my left, plays the mother, and a great role. If your mother's, you play it any way that you did today, it should be outstanding.
Thank you so much.
And Ephraim Thomas, Imp, if we don't know about the devil, we'll know about it then, you know. And Lynn Epps, Anchorman, he's been acting since middle school, playing Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to view our forum, Community Forum, on Spiritual Warfare, the musical. This has been Community Forum, Dr. Waddell Brooks, your host.